In this video, we're going to break down the science of getting better at basketball in the simplest way possible so you guys can understand it and apply it to your training so you can get way better, way faster than anybody that you guys know. And to be honest, this will probably be the only video you guys have to watch on this subject to actually understand how to train in the most optimal way possible. So the first thing that you need to do, which is uncomfortable, which is exactly why 99% of players never do it, is truly and honestly deconstruct your game. Go ask your coach, what do I need to improve on? Go watch your film and be honest with yourself. Ask your teammates, what do I need to improve on, and be honest with yourself. Most people keep telling themselves the same lie over and over again. Oh, I need to work on my ball handling. When in reality, you don't. Maybe you need to fix your broke jump shot, but it's very easy to believe a comfortable lie as opposed to the harsh truth. So people are going to keep telling themselves, hey, I need to work on this. I need to work on this because it's more fun. It's more enjoyable. It's easier to work on, as opposed to honestly reflecting, hey, maybe I need to improve my IQ. Maybe I need to improve my athleticism. Maybe I need to lose weight and stop eating McDonald's. Whatever it may be, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to honestly deconstruct your game so we can get a clear picture of where we're starting from, so we can get a better idea of where we're going and how we're going to get there. But if you're not honest up front, again, you're never going to really build these true results that we are looking for. Now, once you've fully deconstructed your game, and again, please do not skip this step, we can move on to step number 2, which is applying the 80-20 principle to our training. Now, this means two different things to me, at least. Obviously, number one is 20% of the things that you guys are doing are probably yielding 80% of the results that you guys are actually getting. So what are those things, and how can we spend more time on that? For example, some of you guys are probably doing spot shooting, you guys are doing stationary ball handling. That's probably 80% of your training, but it's yielding you almost no results, versus some of you guys are playing 3-on-3, you're going 2-on-2, you're going to the park, you're training with your coach, and that's actually yielding you 80% of the results, even though you're only spending 20% of the time on that. So again, how can we spend more time on that? It's going to be a more leveraged way to spend our time and extract more results from the time that we actually are putting in. Now, the other thing that this means is, what are 80% of the things that you're doing in game? For some of you guys, maybe that's a catch and shoot guy. Everything's off the catch, whether it's catch and shoot, catch and attack, but you're only spending 20% of your training on that because you know you want to get your stationary ball handling, you want to get your spot shots, you want to work on these certain moves that you're never going to really use. The biggest key with training and getting the best results possible is focusing our time in the best areas to extract as much improvement out of that time as possible. Everyone's probably spending a similar amount of time in the gym, 2, 3, 4 hours. The people that are getting better are just spending that time more effectively. So this is the way that we can do that. So firstly, deconstruct your training currently. Okay, what are you doing, and pinpoint what are the things that are probably getting you the best results in games, and okay, let's spend some more time doing that. And then also, what are you doing 80% of the time in games? Maybe it's just catch and shoot, maybe it's just passing, maybe it's just attacking. Okay, let me spend even more time on that, and then the other 20% of the time I can work on expanding that role so I have more responsibility in games and I can continue to build my game. Now from there, it's all about implementing deliberate practice. We analyzed our game, we know what we're going to be spending the majority of our time on. We want to make sure we're doing it in a deliberate practice way. So a couple keys to this is, number one, we're always being challenged. Now, not just in a way of, I'm out of breath, I'm sweating, I'm getting a really good workout, but I'm challenging the skills that I'm trying to improve. I'm struggling. It's mentally kind of exhausting, right? Where it's you're putting a lot of focus and energy into this. But another big key to this is I'm actually getting feedback, which is what most of you guys are not getting, which is exactly why most of you guys are not improving. So yes, I understand this is very tough if you guys are working out by yourself, but there is a way that you guys can do this on your own, and that's simply filming your workouts. You guys all probably have a phone and watching this on it right now. Set it up, get a tripod, or even just put it on the ground and analyze your workouts, whether you're doing live stuff, whether you're going by yourself, and start to analyze, okay, oh, I'm messing up on this footwork, I didn't even really realize it because you're just going through the motions. Or you're doing live stuff and I keep missing this decision, right? I'm getting a close that I have space, but I'm not shooting it. Now, if you're not getting feedback, you can go days or weeks or months without even really realizing it, versus if you're getting feedback, you're able to get that feedback, improve faster, fix it, and then continue to build. So feedback is going to be one of the biggest parts to improvement. That's why people have coaches. That's why people have trainers. That's why people have teachers, so you can get feedback, know when you're doing something wrong. So the faster that you can get this loop moving, which is feedback, correct, implement, and then again, continue that cycle over and over again, the faster you're going to improve. Now, the next principle, which is super key to learning, which I don't think enough people do in general, is spacing and frequency of your workout. So just like how you guys are trying to study for a test in school, you don't want to just cram it all into one night. Take the test. Most of you guys are going to forget it a week down the road, 2 weeks down the road. You didn't actually learn it. You remembered it for a long enough period of time, but you didn't actually learn that skill. The same can be true with our basketball training, where, hey, you're trying to learn a move, you spam it for one day, and then you never really revisit it. Or you're trying to work on certain decisions, you go, hey, I'm only going to go off the catch decisions today. Cool, you do that one day, I go to the next thing the next, and then again, you just kind of forget about it. So 2 things that we can implement into our workouts is, like I said, spacing, frequency. Spacing is spacing out these workouts. So as opposed to cramming one workout in for 2 hours, let's try to maybe break that up into 2 1-hour workouts where we have a gap in between. This gap just allows you to forget and then relearn. So just like how you guys are, instead of cramming at the night, hey, let's go 1 hour one day, 1 hour the next, 1 hour the next, 1 hour the next, or even, hey, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes midday, 15 minutes in the evening, and then 15 minutes at night. That's going to be much more effective than just one block, because it, again, allows you to forget, relearn. When you're relearning, you're struggling through that, which is just strengthening your neurons, which is going to strengthen that memory. Same exact thing with skills. So the more that we can break it up, obviously not realistic to do this to some degree, but again, if you guys can take a 2-hour workout every day and break it into 1 hour, that's gonna be more beneficial. If you guys can even just break up certain aspects of the skill also as well across the workout, whereas opposed to, again, spamming the same move throughout the entire workout, hey, maybe I'm gonna work on the move in the beginning, then I do something else, maybe I'm shooting, maybe I'm working on live stuff, then I'm gonna go back to working on that certain skill or that certain decision, okay, boom, go back to some more just live stuff, and then come back to it at the end. So you guys can space these out across days, weeks, months, but also across the workout. But the next thing, which I think a lot more people are starting to understand, is variability and interleaving. So essentially just mixing in different skills. So again, we don't want to just cram one move whole day, that's it. We want to mix in other things. So whatever it is you guys are trying to learn, maybe you're trying to work on your shooting accuracy, maybe you're trying to work on a certain move, a certain footwork, as opposed to just, again, spamming that same thing over and over again, we want to mix it up. Now, the reason we want to do this, and the way that I kind of explain this, is attention is the currency of learning. If you want to learn, you have to be expending a large amount of attention and focus on whatever it is that you're doing. Now, the problem with doing things like spot shots or just repping out the same thing over and over again is your brain just goes on autopilot. It's always trying to revert back to using the least amount of energy. So once it can just, shut off, not have to think, it can just repeat the same thing over and over again. It's the same thing like if I was to give you a flashcard, hey, what's 17 times 24? First time you don't really know, next one, now you got the answer. You just keep repeating it. You don't have to think. That's not the way that we're going to learn. So we're going to implement this variability to provide challenge, which is going to provide attention and focus where we are trying to improve, which is going to help us improve. So again, say you're trying to work on a certain footwork. Yeah, do that footwork, but try to mix something else in, right? I'm going, okay, that certain shot, now I'm going to space out, go somewhere else. Then I'm going to work on maybe a certain layup. Then I'm going to come back to it. That's just providing a little bit of interruption. It's providing a little bit of challenge, which is, again, going to force me to focus more so on the task and the skill that we're trying to improve. So now the next one, which is one of the biggest ones, and this is where, hey, you're probably spending 20% of your time currently on this, and it's probably getting you 80% of the results that you guys are seeing in games, and that's just simply mimicking situations that you're going to see in games. Again, if you're somebody who's largely off the catch, you should be mimicking these situations as closely to the game as possible. And no, I'm not saying just doing that on air. That's not mimicking the game. You repping something out on air is not mimicking the game at all, even if you're going game speed. There's no defense, there's no crowd, there's no decisions, there's no other people that you have to pass to. It's super easy. Again, you don't have to think. So we need to start mimicking these situations with defense as closely mimicking the game conditions as possible. So if you only have 2 people, it's you and somebody else, okay, we're one-on-one, maybe we're eliminating the space, we're mimicking the same exact angle on these closeouts, we're switching it up. If you have 4 people, okay, we're going 2-on-2, we're including the same decisions, the same speed, the same spacing of these situations that we're gonna see in games, and we're trying to get as many reps as we possibly can in these situations. So this is going to yield a large majority of your results, even though you guys might not spend a ton of time on it. When you can spend time on it, that's when you want to. So I see a lot of people who, they're working out with their buddies and they're just repping out stuff at cones. You can do that all day by yourself. When you have somebody to work out with, you need to take advantage of it and mimic these situations. And again, mimic the situations that you're going to see in games, not just a bunch of random one-on-one where you're just going 3 dribbles where you're jabbing for 7 seconds and then you're getting into a fadeaway jump shot. That's not mimicking the game. That's not really getting you better. You want to mimic these situations as closely as you possibly can, as opposed to just playing bullshit unlimited dribble one-on-one. Now, the last step, which is, again, one thing that a lot of people don't do, is we need to reassess. Is what you're doing actually working? If you're just doing what I just talked about for 6 months and you didn't get any results, maybe you were working on the wrong thing, or maybe you're applying it the wrong way. And if you're not reassessing, and if you're not looking and saying, hey, is what I'm doing working? How can I improve it? How can I tweak it a little bit to provide a little bit more challenge in these areas? Because again, once you get better, you're gonna start to plateau. So again, I need to reassess, okay, maybe I need to switch this, maybe I need to add this, maybe I need to take this away, maybe I need to switch my focus entirely But if you're not reassessing, you're not going to get to that point. You're going to quickly plateau and you're probably going to stay there. So this is a constant iteration process where you're going to go through this entire thing, reassess maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then again, reassess. Maybe you switch it, maybe you continue to keep doing the same thing because it's working. So this is the process to getting better. As long as you're doing everything in this, I promise you, you guys are going to get better, and you're going to get way better, way faster than everybody else that you know. So I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, drop a comment, send this video to somebody who needs to hear this, who just wastes their time in the gym all day and doesn't get anything done. So hope you guys liked it. See you guys in the next video soon.